Today we're going to look at skip counting. Skip counting is when we are counting and missing some of the numbers in the row. So if I was going to skip counting 5, I would start at 0 and I'd miss 1, 2, 3, 4 and I'd land on 5. 5 more would be skip 6, 7, 8 and 9 and land on 10. Then if I keep going, I skip these ones and land on 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I land there. So, starting at 0, I would go 5, 10, then I would skip all of these, land on 15, and 20, and so on. So that's skip counting in 5s. Now today we're going to have a look at skip counting in 2s, and in 5s, and in 10s. Now that can be really useful for lots of things, like counting money. Sometimes we count notes and coins. We could count them in 2s or 5s or 10s. Telling the time. Each one of these here is 5 minutes. Can you see the little dots there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could skip count in 5 to help us tell the time. Or another useful thing to have skip counting for is for counting lots of things. So if I was counting a whole bunch of marbles, instead of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and every single one by itself, I could group them in 2s. So I could count 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's skip counting in 2s. Alright, let's get started. You can see here on my page I've got a 100 chart. On this 100 chart it starts at 1 and it ends at 100 all the way down the bottom. Now we're going to skip count this time in 2s. So we're going to count in 2s. Now I've got a counter here and I'm going to use that counter on my 100 chart to practice counting in 2s. Here we go. So I would start over at 0, which is off the 100 chart on this one. Here we go, watch what happens. 2, then I skip 1, 4, then I skip 6, 8, 10. So I'm only counting every second one, or in every 2 numbers I'm counting. Watch again. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. What do you think will be the next number? Point to it for me. 22, 24, 26, 28, 30. And I keep going all the way down to 100. So my last row would look like this. 92, 94, 96, 98, 100. Now, if you've seen a little bit of a pattern, that's very clever because there is a pattern. All of my counting in 2s are all my even numbers. So that's all the ones that end in 2 and all the ones that end in 4, all the ones that end in 6, 8, and all the ones that end in 0. So all the odd numbers, like 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9, I skip all of the odd numbers. So that's counting by 2s. So what I want you to do is just pause it here for a second, and I want you to have a go at skip counting, starting all the way over here at 0. I want you to skip count all the way up to 20 for me. Or, if you think you can go all the way to 100, give yourself a challenge. Alright, new job. Same 100 chart. This time, we're going to skip count in fives. So skip counting in fives is very much the same as skip counting in twos, except instead of counting every second one, we're going to count every fifth number. So let's have a look what that looks like. Starting over here at 0, I'm going to skip these ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to land on the fifth one. Then I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4 and land on the next fifth one. 10. Skipping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I land on every fifth number. So see if you can see a pattern in this one as I count in fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. What do you think the next one will be? Point to it. 55, 60, 65. What's next? Were you pointing at 70? Good. 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, and the last one is 100. So you would have seen a pattern there, all the ones ending in 5 and all the ones ending in 0. That's our skip counting in 5 numbers. I think you might be able to be pretty good at this one. So what I'd like you to do is just pause here and with your finger go ahead and skip count in 5, just in your head or in a little quiet voice. Okay, hope you went really good at counting in 5s. Now we're going to look at counting in 10. Skip counting in 10. You guessed it, very much the same. Except this time we're only going to count every 10th number. So let's have a look. With my counter over at 0, I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. I'm going to land on this 10th number. And I'm going to skip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to land on the next 10th number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th. So you can start to see a little bit of a pattern going here. I'm counting only every 10th number. Let's have a look as I go back to the start. You see if you can spot the pattern. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Now you go ahead and point to the next 5 numbers, all the way to 100 for me. Go. Did you go 60, 70, 80, 90, 100? Well, that's great. All of the numbers ending in 0 are your skip counting in 10 numbers. So once again, I'd like you to pause it right here, and with your finger, in a nice quiet voice or just in your head, I want you to skip count all the way from 0 to 100 in 10s. Okay, on this page, what I've got here is a little bit of a song. It's a rap for counting in 2s, 5s and 10s. So while the song is playing, I want you to get your finger and count along on this number board. Alright, here we go.
Hey now kids, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Gonna count by 2s. Hey now kids, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Gonna count by 2s. Now let's see, where do we start? How about at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. try? What you gonna try? Gonna count by fives. The coolest of the cool can count by fives. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Hey now kids, what you gonna try? What you gonna try? Gonna count by fives. Hey now kids, what you gonna try? What you gonna try? Gonna count by fives. That was cool, but can you do it again? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Hey now kids, what's at the end? What's at the end? You're gonna count 5 tens. Hey now kids, what's at the end? What's at the end? You're gonna count 5 tens. Alright, now don't go too fast on me. Let's count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. I can just count all day. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go count all day. I'll see you later.
Well, that was pretty cool. A little bit funny, but it helps you to remember how to count by 2s, 5s and 10s. And that wasn't me singing, by the way. So if you need a little bit more time to practice that, then take some time to have a listen to that part of this video again, if you like. But we need to move on when you're ready to the next step. Okay, so what I'd like you to do now is we've had a bit of a practice of counting in 2s, 5s and 10s. So I'd like you to take a screenshot of this screen, of the 100 chart that's on the screen here. And then I'd like you to go and shade in for me all of the 2s, counting in 2s. So remember, they were all the even numbers that end in 2, 4, 6, 8 or 0. So skip count in 2s on one of the sheets and shade in all of the numbers that you counted in 2s and see if you can find the pattern. Then I'd like you to use that same 100 chart, but on a separate page I'd like you to shade in all the skip counting in 5s, so all the numbers that you land on when you count in 5s. And I'd like you to do the same again on a third page with your 100 chart. Shade in all of the skip counting by 10 numbers, so all the numbers that you land on when you skip count by 10. Once you've done that, pause this video and come back to it, and when you've finished counting and shading, then you can have a look at what yours should look like on the next part of the video. Alright, so you should have shaded your 100 charts in for counting in 2s, and these are the numbers that you should have shaded in. So if you did something that looks like this, then you did a great job. If not, go back and have another shot at it. And this is what your skip counting in 5s numbers should have been shaded in like. Have a look at that, and if yours is good, great. If not, go back and have another try. And your third page was skip counting in 10, and it should just have that last row shaded in, all the ones ending in 0. If you got that right, then great job. If not, have another try. And when you feel like you've got that right, then that's the end of this lesson. See you next time.